Hey Queen, did you ever find the topic of dating kind of overwhelming? Did you ever think it was kind of scary sometimes? And maybe, there were a lot of experiences and things that made you apprehensive about it, overwhelmed. Did you ever find yourself postponing your dating life or like not prioritizing it? Always saying career is more important or this or that is more important, or you're focused on this right now. So, of course, if you are in your early 20s, or if you're a teenager, or, somewhere in your 20s, it'll make sense that you focus on other things in life, right? Like developing your skills, developing your masculine energy, and just achieving a lot of your goals, right? But if you are, past your 30s and you find yourself, you know, with fears about the dating life and or the dating world. And the whole topic of men and relationships was overwhelming and was just too scary, then this video is for you. So a lot of you ladies voted in my latest poll that one of your biggest obstacles or one of the biggest reasons of why you are still single is that your fear of dating, your fear of men or fear in anything relationships is bigger than your desire to find the one. And a lot of people might think, well, it's not the end be all to be in a relationship. It's not the end be all to be with a man, etc. Well, it's a human need at the end of the day. But anyway, in this video, we'll talk about how to overcome these fears. Where do they come from? Because understanding the background of them is what will allow us to do the inner work and move past these fears. Okay? So, the number one reason why you have fears around men and dating and the whole topic is because of a past experience, right? Maybe you got ghosted, or you've been heartbroken before, or whatever negative experience, obviously, right? So that would have traumatized a lot of you, perhaps. Or maybe you saw other relationships that were a train wreck. Or maybe in your family, maybe your parents, maybe whatever your mom told you about men and relationships and dating. Or maybe just all the horror stories that you hear today, right? Whatever is the case, remember, I personally have talked about, you know, experiences growing up and how they turned me off or turned me away, from wanting to be married and all that type of stuff. And I also said how had I not worked on those wounds, on those fears, on that trauma, I would still be chronically single. I'm 39. So how common is it that you're in your late 30s and you're still chronically single with this and that situation? Right? So I would be just one more person with that situation. But instead, I chose to look past my fear X amount of years ago, 20 years ago, and said, you know what? Again, that person who hurt me or whatever I saw growing up, that's just them, right? That's just them, and it doesn't have to be me. And I decided, in fact, that will not be me. So a lot of the fear in dating, beyond, a past experience, comes from the unknown. Okay? So fear of the unknown is huge, right? And you're like, what do you mean unknown? Unknown in, and sorry about the cough. It's not going to be edited out. The fear of the unknown, in that you perhaps don't understand why men have certain behaviors, why, if you did all the right things, it didn't pan out. Basically, a fear of not knowing the ins and outs of dynamics between men and women, dynamics like polarity dynamics, human nature, right? Because a lot of times you have an expectation from a man, you expect him to react a certain way, and you're reasoning from from a woman's perspective. You're looking at things from a woman's perspective. And guess what? It just so happens that men operate completely different. And understanding human nature, understanding the male DNA, the male psychology, and really getting versed on how they think and how they operate, right? Because, for example, a lot of times I get clients or people that I want coaching that they want to find the one and so on and so forth, but you see them being with the one guy for a year or how long, and then thinking that moving in together is going to be a progress of it, and just using this kind of logic that doesn't take into account human nature, the fact that we are irrational beings, that we have an animal nature. So you refuse to believe and understand that we have a human, an animal nature to us. So you keep using a logic that is like the goody two shoes logic. Oh, we're just getting to know each other. I just want to get to know him. So I get to know him by seeing him interact like for centuries. And maybe if I look at what he does for a century, then I'll know him. Or then he'll know me. And just logics that are not helping you. So that's why a lot of people have fear, because they don't really know how this all works, because when they've tried it, something backfired, and so there's that. How do you overcome it? First of all, you want to get really well versed on human nature, the animal nature of men and women, relationship dynamics. So you being in this channel is a great first step. When you find yourself that despite all of that, despite years of maybe looking at YouTube channels, reading books, this and that, you're still in the same place, you're still stuck kind of thing, you still have fears, you're still not moving, you're still postponing it, then think about hiring a coach. Because that's exactly what we do and what we're there for. But besides all of that, what I want to tell you is fear is normal. Fear is natural in whenever we're doing something to expand ourselves. whenever we're doing something bigger, exciting, something that will make us grow, everyone has fear. Everyone. I was saying to a client recently, I've lived in 4 different countries, done a lot of things in my life that, for some might have been scary. And I told her the scariest thing I've done in my life is becoming a public figure, aka going on YouTube. Because I'm like the most private person in the planet. Being public is just never been my thing naturally. So I postponed going on YouTube for like 7 or 8 months after I decided. Wow, that's a freaking lifetime. And then it's not that I was ready to start it. In fact, look at me. I'm not the best in camera, all these things. But here we are. And I've been able to meet the most wonderful clients, and it's been life changing. So, had I not just gone and did it, like, it would have never happened. I would still be in the same place with my smaller coaching practice and whatever. Like, now I get to work with women from all over the world. It's phenomenal. But had I not gone past my fear, I'd be, in the same old, same old. So this is a thing for you. You never really quite overcome fear before doing it. You overcome fear with exposure to it. The more you do something, the less scary it is. So you have to throw yourself in it, literally, because you'll never be ready. And life is for the bold. The earth will inherit the bold, the brave. And the brave are those who do the thing despite the fear. The ones who move through the fear, with the fear, walking hand in hand with fear. You hear me? Because if you sit there paralyzed, how many things in your life are like everything is the same, not just dating, not just doing the business, moving abroad or moving to a different city, whatever it is that you dream of. When your fear is bigger than your dream, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you are brave, and that you are bold and move past the fear. Or not past it, move with it. You're doing the thing and you're terrified. You get it? You have to do it despite being terrified. When you're postponing it, procrastinating it, or putting all these excuses, I have to, I don't know, like, there's all countless excuses. Career is a huge one. Kind of like focus, like, oh no, it's not a priority for me. That's the biggest excuse I've ever heard. It's not a priority for me. I'm focusing on my business. I'm focusing on work, focusing on making money. Like when you're past 25, past 30, it's like we all know you're just hiding away from it. You're postponing it. You're procrastinating. The career, the priorities, the weight loss, freaking whatever excuse it is. What happens when you don't go past your fear is that you will stay stuck in there. And how this translates in dating and relationships is that You might wake up one day being 40 something, past your fertility window. And there's that. A lot of women past 35 have this problem. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And this is not to instill fear. It's for you to wake up. It's for you to wake up and stop postponing the thing. I'm not telling you to stop having fear. I'm telling you, walk with it hand in hand. And that's how it's done. That's how you overcome it. By exposing yourself to it. It's called exposure therapy. You do the thing, repetition, it makes you stop being scared. You have to throw yourself in it. You have to be courageous. You have to be brave. Not like a scaredy cat. Because a scaredy cat goes nowhere. So imagine if this could be natural selection. Darwin's theory at best. Kind of like, well, you were just too scared, so you never got to reproduce. You never got to expand your genome or pass it on. So imagine if I never walked past my fear of being on camera or being public or this or that. My dream would have gone out the window. And maybe I would have gone back to my corporate life, which I never want. Where I didn't want that long term. Okay, so I would have been running hell there, right? So anyway, the earth shall inherit the bold. The earth shall inherit the brave. So here is a message too. Snap out of it, maybe, or no, just do the thing. There's not a successful person out there that told you that one day they were ready and they did it. No, they moved with the fear, walking hand in hand with fear. Get acquainted with it. Be like, fear, here we go. And we're doing it. We're still terrified and scared. So anyway, so ends the daily sermonette. Let me know in the comments your experience with fear in whether it be dating, whether it be whatever it is in your life. Let me know if you overcame it. Let me know if you walked with it or if you're still paralyzed. So I'll see you guys on the next. Bye now.